Over yonder's a park which has newly begun. All bells in paradise I heard them ring. Bits gold on the outside and silver within. And I love sweet Jesus above everything. And in that park there stands a hall. All bells in paradise I heard them ring, which is carved all over with the purple and pall. And I love sweet Jesus above everything. And in that hall there stands a bed. All bells in paradise I heard them ring, which is hung all around with silk curtains so red. And I love sweet Jesus above everything. And in that bed there lies a knight. All bells in paradise I heard them ring. Those wounds they do bleed by the day, by the night. And I love sweet Jesus above everything. Oh, at that bedside there lies a stone. All bells in paradise I heard them ring, which is our blessed Virgin Mary then kneeling on. Oh, and I love sweet Jesus above everything. Oh, at that bed's foot there lies a hound. All bells in paradise I heard them ring, which is licking the blood as it daily runs down. And I love sweet Jesus above everything. Oh, at that bed's head there grows a thorn. All bells in paradise I heard them ring, which has never so blossomed since Christ he was born. And I love sweet Jesus above everything. Oh, as I walked out one summer's morn, all in the month of June, and the flowers they were springing and the birds was in full tune, my Valverud, a lovely maiden, this was all a theme. Success attend the call, you lads, for they are lads of fame. Oh, I boldly then stepped up to her, and bending on my knee, I've asked her for a pardon for making with her so free. Me pardon it is granted, young Call, yes, she replies, I pray do you belong unto the bold Union boys. I am a collier lad, I said, and as black as any sloe, and all night long I'm working so very deep below. Oh, I do love a collier lad, and as I do love me life, me father was a pitman all the days of his life. So come, me young collier, I and rest you here a while. Man, when that I've done milking, then I'll give you a smile. He's kissed her sweet lips all in the morning dew, and the lambs they was sporting all in the morning too. So come all you noble gentlemen, wherever you may be, do not pull down their wages, nor break their unity. You'll say they all like brothers, like sailors on the sea, and do their best endeavours for their wives and family. Oh, then she's clapped her arms round him like Venus round the vine. You are me jolly collier lad, you've won this heart of mine. And if that you do win the day as you have won me heart, well, I'll crown you with honour and forever take your part. For the colliers are the best of boys, their lives are underground. Man, when they to the alehouse go, they value not a crown. They spend their money freely and pay before they go. Oh, they work underground while the stormy winds do blow. So come all you pretty maids, wherever you may be. Oh, I call you lad, do not despise in any degree, for if that you do use them well, they'll do the same to thee. There is none in this world like a collier lad for me. Oh, a jolly shoemaker, John Ops, a jolly shoemaker was he. He's married Jane Carter, no damsel looks smarter, but he's caught a tartar, yes, he's caught a tartar, John Ops did he. He's tied a rope to her, John Ops, tied a rope to her, did he. To escape from hot water, to Smithfield he's brought her, but nobody bought her, they all were afraid of Jane Ops, were they? Oh, we'll buy a wife, says Ops, John Ops, a sweet pretty wife, says he. But somehow they tell us them wife-dealing fellas were all of them sellers, and none of them wanted Jane Ops, did they? Oh, where is the rope, says Ops, John Ops, come give me the rope, says he. I won't stand to wrangle, myself I will strangle, a lang dingle dangle, he died in a tangle, John Ops did he. Workmen of Bilston and Bradley, draw near, sit down, take your pipes, and this song you shall hear. I sing not of war or the state of the nation, such subjects as these produce naught but vexation. But before I proceed any more with my tale, you shall all drink my health in a bumper of ale. Fill it up and without any further parade, John Wilkinson, boys, that supporter of trade. May all his endeavours be crowned with success, and his works ever-growing prosperity bless. May his comforts increase with the length of his days, his fame shine as bright as his famous blaze. But the wood of old England would fail, did appear, and though iron was scarce because charcoal was dear, by puddling and stamping he cured that evil, so the Swedes and the Russians may go to the devil. Thundering cannon too frequently burst, a mischief so great he prevented the first. And now 'tis well known they never miscarry, but drive all our foes with a blast to old Harry. Let each jolly fellow take hold of his glass, and drink to the health of his friend and his lass. May we always have plenty of good beer and pence, and Wilkinson's fame blaze 1,000 years hence. Well, an handsome young man from London's come down. He set up his trade in old Darlaston town. Being asked of his trade, he did answer down right well. I belongs to the family of old 9 times a night. Well, he soon fell the down with loud trumps of fame. He was left winked and smiled at wherever he came. Mates, widows and wives went to bed and they draw near. Said 9 times a night, God, I wish he was here. Well, a widow turned to her serving maids, Betsy and Nan. She's bade him look out for this wonderful man, and charged him as soon as they saw him in sight, for to bring the glad tidings of old 9 times a night. Well, fortune favoured their scheme the very next day. These jigging young jades saw him coming their way. They hastened upstairs with a cheerful delight. Lord, ma'am, as I live, here comes 9 times a night. Well, the wedding soon over, the truth I now tell. Went to bed and 6 times he's pleased her quite well. She said in her heart she was satisfied and quite, but still gave him an hint of his 9 times a night. Oh, he said, my dear bride, you've understood me wrong. Oh, I said to that family I didn't belong. Well, 9 times a night 'tis too much for one man. I can't do it myself, but me sister Nan can. From Gornland, from Sedgley, likewise from Tipton too, the sportsmen crowded to their town, they'd nothing else to do. Old Fancy Dick from Wedgbury come with his good dog shot, but Billy Bald ain't come at all for being drunk forgot. In Perry's Croft the bull was staked just as the clock struck 5. And for the baiting had begun, the streets was all alive. When all things were put to rights, the crier cried his eyes, bring out your dogs and pin the bull if they come by the nose. The dogs one slipped and at the bull they went like raving mad. But that old bull, the cunning beast, it ain't mean to be had. He tossed one dog into the air and gave him such a whack that when he dropped upon the ground he broke his nation back. Another one he caught a jet and turned him inside out, which made old Mo from Willenhull begin to rave and shout. At last they set 6 dogs at him, at which bedlam's begun. The dogs all yelled, the crowd all roared to see such ripping fun. Dog after dog went sailing up like birds into the air, and when they dropped they fairly howled like cripples at a fair. At last they set old shot at him, and when he'd had 2 goes he sprung upon the weary bull and pinned him by the nose. The bully roared and the bulldog growled, his owner bit his tail, but 'twa'n't a bit of use, you see, that time you can't go bail. At last the bull with sudden toss of his big and gory head flung Billy up his flesh and all, then broke his cord and fled. Right through the crowd he rushed away and got him as he run, which made the rascals cuss and swear, for they call that fun. Then up the town he rushed along, mad with the pain and fear, followed by every barking cur, but none of 'em went too near. To end the story short, he run till he could run no more, and then he dropped him straightway down and died upon the floor. We're 2 or 3 hearty lads all in one row, and we shall not come guising till this time next year. Put your hands in your pockets, pull out your bright keys, and go down to your cellar, bring up what you please. We'll have a jug of your best October beer, and we'll come no more a soul until this time next year. With a talking and walking we get very dry, so I hope you good neighbours will never us deny. For we're 2 or 3 jolly boys, all in a mind, we are coming a souling for what we can find, both ale, beer and brandy and all sorts of wine, and we hope you'll remember it's soul caking time. Salt cake day is come and gone, and we again are here, aye, and if you've neither apples nor pears, give us a pot of beer, that we may dance and merrily sing as far as we do go. And when we come to the very next house, we hope they'll serve us so. Oh, Clemeny, 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 Rhine, a good red apple and a pint of a wine, some of your mutton and some of your veal. If it is good, pray give me a deal. Oh, if it is not, pray give me some salt. Butler, butler, fill your bowl. If thou failest of the best, the Lord will send your soul to rest. If thou failest of the small, down goes the butler, bowl and all. Pray, good mistress, send to me one for Peter, one for Paul, one for him who made us all. Apple or pear, plum or cherry, any good thing to make us merry. A bouncing buck and a velvet chair, oh Clement comes but once a year. Off with the pot and on with the pawn, a good man apple and I'll be gone. Well a day, St. Thomas goes too soon away. Then your gooding we do pray, for the good times will not stay. St. Thomas Grey, the longest night and the shortest day. Please to remember St. Thomas's day. In the days of good Queen Bess, yar boys, oh boys, in the days of good Queen Bess, me jolly brave boys. In the days of good Queen Bess, Coventry outdone the rest, yar boys, oh boys, the brave Dudley boys, aye, but in the times as be, yar boys, oh boys, but in the times as be, me jolly brave boys, but in the times as be, we mout done Coventry, yar boys, oh boys, the brave Dudley boys. I will wave marching into town, yar boys, oh boys. Wave marching into town, me jolly brave boys. Wave marching into town, resolved to pull the housen down, yar boys, oh boys, the brave Dudley boys. And tippin' lads, they did us join, yar boys, oh boys. Tippin' lads, they did us join, me jolly brave boys. Tippin' lads, they did us join, and we formed a strong combine, yar boys, oh boys, the brave Dudley boys. Well, the times they be mighty queer, yar boys, oh boys, the times they be mighty queer, me jolly brave boys. Times they be mighty queer, and victual it was very dear, yar boys, oh boys, the brave Dudley boys. So for to make on cheap, yar boys, oh boys, so for to make on cheap, me jolly brave boys. So for to make on cheap, we burned you all of a heap, yar boys, oh boys, the brave Dudley boys. Aye, but the work hadn't scarce begun, yar boys, oh boys, but the work had scarce begun, me jolly brave boys. But the work had scarce begun when soldiers came and spoilt the fun, yar boys, oh boys, me jolly brave boys. Well, we've all run down our pits, yar boys, oh boys. We've all run down our pits, me jolly brave boys. We've all run down our pits, all fretted almost out of our wits, yar boys, oh boys, the brave Dudley boys. Aye, well, it's God and bless Lord and Dudley Ward, Yar boys, oh boys, God bless Lord and Dudley Ward, me jolly brave boys. God and bless Lord Dudley Ward, he knowed his time's been so hard. Yar boys, oh boys, the brave Dudley boys, aye, for he sent back the soldier man. Yar boys, oh boys, he sent back the soldier man, me jolly brave boys. He sent back the soldier man, and we'll never riot again. Yar boys, oh boys, the brave Dudley boys. Come townsmen all and women too, there is no end of fun, when masters well as masters may the rig of fancy run. Of old and steady workmen late our masters sadly tired, searched England through, and then some new ones briskly eyed, aye, some new ones briskly eyed. Lean-fleshed and lousy, scant of clothes, almost as when first born, cooked meat they never could have seen, nor smelt John Barleycorn. We wondered much, some asked how long unhandcuffed they had been, and others asked if ever they a carpet loom had seen, oh, a carpet loom had seen. No, they replied, but masters want experiments to make. They told us that their pleasure was apprentices to take. Well, said our friends, that's brave indeed, pray do your best and learn. But mind when first your candle snuff, you don't your fingers burn. Oh, you don't your fingers burn. Well, quickly into looms they've got to work, and they tried their best. The masters and the foremen too thought they could do the rest. Oh, the lishes, treadles, sword and all danced to such a crazy tune that each loom thought its master turned into a crazy loon, into a crazy loon. He always went astray, and then he swore that he'd not been once right throughout the day. Oh, the draw boys too, God bless the lads and keep 'em from all evil, wished that strange medley anywhere, perhaps unto the devil, perhaps unto the devil. To good workmen they had long been used, able, long tried and sure, but such tenpenny foes as these they never could endure. They knew by English feeling taught when law the tyrant plays, and vowed that rather than submit they'd suffer all their days, they'd suffer all their days. Aye, but masters I'd almost forgot, and ragamuffins too, how they went on when I knows myself, I'll surely tell to you. Meantime, could anything cause mirth among such great disasters? It would be such funny rigs of good and tender-hearted masters, good and tender-hearted masters. The Jews, they crucified him. The Jews, they crucified him. The Jews, they crucified him and nailed him to a tree. Mary stood a-weeping. Mary stood a-weeping. Mary stood a-weeping to see the Lord a-bleeding. Then Joseph to beg the body, Joseph to beg the body, Joseph begged the body, man laid it in a tomb. Came down then an angel, came down then an angel, came down then an angel, and rolled away the stone. And then up arose the Saviour, then up arose the Saviour, then up arose the Saviour, to conquer death and hell. Then tell John, James and Peter, then tell John, James and Peter, then tell John, James and Peter, I'm arisen from the dead. The eternal gates was open, the eternal gates was open, the eternal gates was open, to let our Saviour in. Because all that day remember well the last strike of which this tale I do tell. Mom cold and hungry we that heavy day to Bromsgrove town did it take our toilsome way. Aye, in these Nile forges miserable souls, they'll not forget the givers of the cause. Nile masters are hard-hearted files, and the way we took 'twas 13 miles. Well, the slaves abroad in the sugar cane, they have plenty to help I and pity their pain. But the slaves at home in the mine and fire, they have plenty to pity, but none to admire. Well, I wish I could see old Nail Daler, just a-drawing such a load as did we poor nailers, mightn't see such punishment and such smart, that it might soften their heart's stony heart. And so as the nailers do suffer such mar, well, I hopes it will soften old Pharaoh's heart. And let each nailer tell to his son the labours that we for our rights have done. come and listen to me song, and I will not detain you long about the folks they all did throng along the Oxford Railway. Riff and diff and mirth and fun, don't you wonder how it's done? Carriages without horses run on the Oxford and Hampton Railway. And to go along the line, mother, father, son and daughter, going along at the 1 o'clock by fire, by steam and water. Riff and diff and mirth and fun, don't you wonder how it's done? Carriages without horses run on the Oxford and Hampton Railway. And from the villages and the towns, ladies and gents all are gathered around, and music through the air did sound along the Oxford Railway. Riff and diff and mirth and fun, don't you wonder how it's done? Carriages without horses run on the Oxford and Hampton Railway. There's butchers, bakers, nailers too, and lots of gents all dressed in blue, and they've all come to take a view at the Oxford and Hampton Railway. Riff and diff and mirth and fun, don't you wonder how it's done? Carriages without horses run on the Oxford and Hampton Railway. Now there's a girl in Worcester town, I think her name is Nancy. She said a ride along the line would really please her fancy. Riff and diff and mirth and fun, don't you wonder how it's done? Carriages without horses run on the Oxford and Hampton Railway. She'll go by steam, she'll come by steam, a steam she'll be unhurried, and if she do her husband find by steam, they will be married. Riff and diff and mirth and fun, don't you wonder how it's done? Carriages without horses run on the Oxford and Hampton Railway. Looking up the line, said I don't give a farthing, for they pulled down me cottage fine and taken away me garden, where I for many years did dwell, growing cabbages and potatoes. But worse than that, me daughter now run off with a navigator. Riff and diff and mirth and fun, don't you wonder how it's done? Carriages without horses run on the Oxford and Hampton Railway. When line is finished at both ends, and you can send your cups and ends, and go and visit all your friends along the Oxford Railway. Riff and diff and mirth and fun, don't you wonder how it's done? Carriages without horses run on the Oxford and Hampton Railway. You can send your butter and cheese at any time, whenever you please. You can send your hens and eggs, and them can ride as has no legs on the Oxford and Hampton Railway. Riff and diff and mirth and fun, don't you wonder how it's done? Carriages without horses run on the Oxford and Hampton Railway. A task for the English folk, and a man's a man alway, who delves the coal and the iron ore and shapes the potter's clay. For this is the song of the Staffordshire man, in fortune girl in mine. Our fire shall burn and our mill wheels turn, and the knot shall be our sign. There are 40 shires that light their fires and bless the iron strong, and the china bake the potters make as they sing the Stafford song. For this is the song of the Staffordshire man, and fortune girl in mine. Our fire shall burn and our mill wheels turn, and the knot shall be our sign. Of a race of yeomen bold, whose drink is the best of beer. Our fields feed beast for the Christmas feast, and you may share our cheer. For this is a song song of the Staffordshire man, forging and killing mine. Our fire shall burn and our mill wheels turn, and the knot shall be our sign. We marshal our ranks on the grey pit banks and our lads on the football field. If the cause be right, we are game for the fight, we never were known to yield. And this is the song of the Staffordshire man, forging and killing mine. Our fire shall burn and our mill wheels turn, and the knot shall be our sign. Aye, this is the song of the Staffordshire man, forging and killing mine. Our fire shall burn and our mill wheels turn, and the knot shall be our sign. Man and colliers, all come a listen to me ditty. I'll sing you a song, it won't take long, it is both new and pretty. 'Tis concerning Tommy shops and the Highfield ruffian, for he pays you with a Tommy note, you must take that or nothing. That is of the colliers I will tell how they pays each other. Oh, little have they but a Tommy note from a 1 week to the other. On Saturday when a week's work is done and they go to get their money, the Highfield devils learn the trick but to pay him off with a Tommy. Now 'tis of the boatsmen I will tell, sails from Highfields to Runcorn. The boatsmen and their wives all curse him at the junction. None of those belonging to the branch that knows the art of boating. They wish the tail down his throat wouldn't be a means to choke him. Now when we have done our Runcorn voyage, we goes to get our money. The one half stops for I and corn, the other half for Tommy. So to the Tommy shop we go to get the week's provision. Our oatmeal, sugar, salt and soap, short weight and little measure. Well, if we've had money instead of this provision, we'd have plenty. For the profits they get out of us, 'tis 9 shilling out of 20. Yet still we jumps on board the boat, the children look so funny, and on our way we cheerful go till we have better Tommy. Ah, but there is one amongst the rest knows well the art of boating. He vows he swears a wife he'll have so long he's gone a-courting. He vows that he will married be, come listen to me jokes, sir. But when the parson's done his job, he'll pay him with a Tommy note, sir. Now we have finished at our boys, the children look so funny. For here at Runcorn we do lie, we have it all at Tommy. Come and gear the horse and clear the line, and jump on board the boat, sir. Both night and day we'll steer our way for another Tommy note, sir.
Now at Wedgbury there was a cocking, you see, a match between Newton and Scroggins. Now the colliers and the nailers left work, and all to old Spittle kept the blue ball at Wednesbury, went jogging. To see this noble sport many noble men resorted, and though they'd little of money, well with that they freely sported. There was Jeffries and old Bourne from Hampton, and old Dusty from Bilston was there. Plummer had come from Darlaston, and he was as rude as a bear. Mull Willie come from Walsall High, and Smacker from West Brom come a blind. Robin he come from Rowley, but staggering he went wum. Well, old Moe he come hobbling along, as though he some cripple was mogging. To join in the blackguarding throngs was met at the Wedgbury cocking. He'd borrowed a trifle of money to pack old Taverners grey, laid fourpence halfpenny to fourpence, lost and went broken away. But he soon returned to the pit, for he'd borrowed a trifle more money, and he's placed another large bet along with old Blobbermouth Coney. But as Coney demanded his money, as is common on all such occasions, he cried, "Bless thee if I don't hold thy peace, well I'll pay you as Paul paid the Ephesians." Aye, and Scroggins' breeches were made of nankeen, you see, and they'd worn very thin in the groin, and while stooping to handle his cock, well, his bollocks burst out behind. Besides, his shirt tail was beshit now, that caused among 'em much laughter. So Scroggins he turned himself round in a pet and cried, "Bugger you, what's the matter?" Well, the morning sport being over, old Spittle had dinners proclaimed. Each man he should dine for a groat, if he didn't he ought to be damned. For there was plenty of beef, but old Spittle he swore by his troth that never a man should eat until he'd taken his noggin of broth. Now the beef was old and tough of a bull that was baited to death, and Barney I'd got a lump in his throat as was like to have stopped his breath. Well, the company fell in confusion at seeing poor Barney I'd choke, so they carried him into the kitchen high and held him over the smoke. But they've held him so close to the fire he frizzled just like a beefsteak. So they threw him down on the floor as was like to have broken his neck. One gave him a kick in the stomach, another a kick on the brow. His wife said, "Throw him in the stable, he'll be better just now." Then they all returned to the cockpit and the fighting went forward again. 6 fights were fought on each side and the next to decide the main. For they were to famous cocks as ever the country's bred. Old Scroggins a duck-wing black eye and Newton's a shift-wing red. Well, the fight was hard on both sides till old Brassy-wing black was a choked. The colliers were tarnationally vexed and the nailers were sorely provoked. Peter Stevens he swore a great oath as old Scroggins had played his cock foul. So Scroggins he gave him a kick, aye, and cried, "God damn your soul." Aye, and the cockpit was close to the church, you see, an ornament unto the town. On one side was an old coal pit, and the other one was well gorsed round. Now Peter Hadley, hadn't paid to get in, peeked through the gorse the better to see the cocks fight. So Spittle he just jobbed his eye out with a fork and cried, "Bugger you, that serves you right." Then the company fell in confusion and a bold fight did ensue. Kick, batter and bite was the word until the Walsall men were subdued. Ralph Moody bit off a man's nose and wished he could have him slain. So they trampled the cocks to death, aye, and made a draw of the main. Now some people may think this strange, as Wednesbury never knew, but those who have ever been there won't have the least doubt but it's true. For they are savage by nature and guilty of deeds most shocking. Jack Baker he whacked his own feather, so ended Wedgbury cocking.